This is the beginning of our Unit 4 sync session, our final session. It's kind of a seminar style format, so we're just gonna have Ivan, our guest speaker, share a little bit about his Laulima site and his materials. Yeah, you can go ahead, Ivan. Let me see.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? Good to see you, meet you. Using at least this Zoom thing. It's still like we are like using Zoom. So yeah. So let me talk a little about my experience. I've been teaching face-to-face and online async. And Laura told me that, yeah, some of the, like the tips that I can give you from my experience and the things that I believe that really works. I've been doing this like 2 years now. So the first thing is the College of Social Science template. What Laura can put on the Laulima, that's so helpful. So like, even if you are teaching face-to-face, you can use that template. So my first thing is like, just ask her and use it, right? And then the thing is that, especially with online asynchronic courses, the main challenge is always like participation, right? Like you have your material, you upload everything there, but you want some kind of feedback from the students, and you want to like not wait until the like due date of the assignment so they can start doing their stuff. So what I found like really something that really works is this Padlet tool. So let me share so I can show you how I'm gonna use it, man. Okay, can you see that? Yeah. Okay. So this is, for example, like a it's a 6-week course that I have during summer. Okay, it's done. And this is not like a 100 level kind of course. It's like 400 level. It's like international macroeconomics. So they supposed to have some at least principle of macro kind of knowledge for this class. So students at this 400 level are more like they want to go directly to the point. What is you professor are gonna give us, how you're gonna evaluate it. That's the important thing for them. So and again, like, okay, I'm gonna upload all the information here, and how I'm gonna be like checking that they are like participating in some way, like reading the material and giving some kind of feedback, comments about the material, right? So what I'm doing is like I'm using Laura's template. Okay, so I have like like for each week, okay, I have my introduction, learning objectives, and all the things that they have to do. Okay, and even I can post PPTs and like some kind of like summary of the readings that they have to do. Okay, my videos and the assignment. Okay, so the thing is that on this reflection of learning part, okay, I'm using this tool, this Padlet tool, and I think that like last summer like really helps. Okay, so what I do here, let me see if I can jump there. Yeah, so for the 6 weeks I create these kind of like boards, right? And then what I'm just asking is like, okay, give me feedback about a question, about like a concept or something that we learned that week. Okay, so you see that for my students, okay, they come with some answers. Okay, and I'm also like try to comment what they have there. Okay, and this one works for the entire 6 weeks. Okay, so not like each week we go through a concept, we go through a specific thing or something that is happening. Remember that at that time, like we have this thing with inflation and this thing here in the economy. So I was like posting some kind of things about that, and then they are like returning with that, right? And this works. Like was like you see like all the students, like it was like a small group here, like 6-7 students, but all of them were like trying to come with something. So I found that like really useful. And even like the comments are like really interesting. So you can like come and go with them with all these like responding what they thought, or responding what they have. And I think it's like a good thing that you can add on your material and it's gonna help you in this learning process, right? So that is the first thing that I wanna show you. Like you can see like how this works for all the 6 weeks. Like for all the 5 weeks, the 6th one is the last week, and I just had like the final examination for them, but like you can see that you can use it for each week, right? So for this one, I remember that you can create a user account in Padlet and like a social science kind of user account. So also Laura can help you with that. And then you just, to create these things is very simple. Like you just say like, I'm gonna do it by weeks, and then you just post your things, okay? And the students come and they have access also, and they can comment with their comments. And yeah, so this is the first thing that I found it like really helpful, and probably you want to try one of these things. One tricky thing about this one is that when they need to like post, you have to tell them that include their names, right? Because if you can see, if they're not like really creating an like a Padlet user, they're gonna come like anonymous kind of guys, right? So that's important. When they respond to your post, they have to put their names right on it. Okay, that's the thing. That's the only thing that is tricky about this tool, but it's very good. Okay. And then the rest is like to give them a lot of information, right? Your videos, your PPTs, like and everything, like especially like at this level. And if you have assignments and they want to know if you have especially like this kind of open question, they want to know if they're doing right, they're doing wrong. I'm also uploading solution keys, like the answer key of each assignment every week. Okay, so that's also like I think is also very helpful, especially for at this level kind of students. Okay, and then and that's for the participation thing, right? That's the thing that I want to share with you. And then for the rest is just use the template, and I don't know, like if you're very clear at the beginning, if you can explain them the syllabus, or like how you're gonna be handling the entire course, I think that's gonna be fine. Like they're gonna be happy to know from the beginning how everything is gonna be handled, and yes, and no like weird question during the course, like how is like participation going to be part of my final grade, how assignments are going to be part of my final grade, or that kind of thing. If you are very clear since day zero, they know everything, right? In some of these courses, yes, I have like a video to introduce myself, and then go over the syllabus. So that's also like important. I think I have one here on the start here. Yeah, this one. For example, in this one, I introduce myself and I give them like the important information about the course, and go over the syllabus. That's the important one. Okay, so that's the thing that I believe that works, especially if you are like online async. And then if you are teaching face to face, or if you are like online, like also in looking your students every week, use the template. It's gonna work. I mean, I believe these templates are really helpful, and since everything you can plan by week, okay, you can include all your information there, and also have to match with the syllabus, and students are never gonna be lost. Like they know where everything started, where are you going, and how everything is gonna end. So everything is gonna be very smooth and nice. Okay. So basically that's it. I don't know if you have like questions or something about this kind of. These are like my courses here, so I'll be happy to like to answer any of your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivan. We've had Ivan before in a previous workshop. He came to our April one, and he did a really good job. Just going through the different tasks that we had, and you just have a lot of confidence, Ivan. to share your things that you have on Laulima and your Padlets. They look very organized, so it's good that you shared that. Jake, you have a question? Do you want to go ahead and unmute?
Sure, yes. Thank you, Ivan. That was
Yes.
helpful. I was just wondering, is there a way that you could see who has participated, who has sort of provided comments or given feedback through
On the
Padlet?
Padlet thing?
Yeah, because instead of going
like
through all the
let's go there.
comments,
Like for example, when you go there, right? And then yeah, for example, here, right? So I remember that what I'm doing is like by week. So every week I have like a different question or a different comment or a different thing, right? And then I'm the first one who is gonna post that. And then you see all the students like responding to that, right? And then you can go like each student, and then you can also make some more additional comments or something like that. So for example, in this one, yeah, they say like, okay, the aha moment or the important thing that I learned is about how this negative relation between foreign wealth and whatever, right? And then I comment with that, okay? So I know that James, he already participated, okay? So in that week, he already participated, so it's done, okay? And then you see now Ian, for example, he's coming with another thing that was like his aha moment or on that week. And then I see his name, okay, participation, done, okay? And then if you go down, you can see all the names here, right? Mustafa, and then Hao Yang, and then, yeah, Eleni. So all of them are here, right? You can see their names. So that's the way I'm gonna say like, okay, since you're participating, you're gonna have like, you know, the point that I'm gonna assign you for class participation are there, right? No problem, okay? So that's the way that and that you see like I have like every week there, right? So even if you have like, I don't know, like 16 weeks, you can have like the 16 weeks, you can create this thing like that, right? So I don't know if that answered your question.
yeah, I was just wondering if there's a way that we could just from the back end just see who submitted, just like an automatically populated checklist. The way that we do it when assignments or when people participate in quizzes, we can immediately see if these people have submitted or not submitted.
So what I'm doing is that since it's on Laulima and then they can click it, they go directly to the app, and then I give them like the week, like the entire week. So you have the entire week to participate, right? So by the end of the week, I need your participation. Come with something, right? So most of them, I was checking this, and I remember most of them do this on Thursday, right? I remember like Thursday, I see like they're doing things. And sometimes since this is a small group, was like 6, 7 students. When someone was like, you know, like not participating, I can email and say, hey, you're gonna lose those points, right? Try to come with something. And they, oh yes, professor, and they boom, you know, like these are the last ones. Always you see like the last one is the one that come with a, you know, even like there was a couple of them that had nothing the first 2 weeks. And I say, okay, no problem. Come with something for the week number 1, week number 2, upload your class participation thing, and then I'm still gonna give you like some points for that. Okay. So yeah, everything is here, so you can, you know, like keep track of the students and see like who participated and who are not really. Yeah.
Yeah. Good job, Ivan. Jake,
Yeah.
to comment on your question, I think someone has asked that before, probably in the past few sync sessions, and from what I know, I don't think there's a way to see like, are you asking if there's just a list of participants that show up?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, no, I don't believe there is. So you just would have to check for their name. That's why their name is really important. Sometimes students will have an account, so they'll sign in and you'll see their name here, but otherwise they have to make sure to put their name. Yeah, and that's the only way. You'd have to go through all their posts.
Yeah, it's the way it is, exactly.
Okay, perfect. Good to know. Thank you.
Yes. Does anyone else have any questions for Ivan? Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, Ivan. Thank you for presenting. If you feel free to stay, go ahead. But if not, if you're busy with other stuff, then we enjoyed your presentation.
Okay. Thank you,
Thanks
guys.
for
Thank
sharing,
you.
Ivan.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ivan. Take care. Okay, hi everyone. So there was our presentation. It's going to be pretty open-ended today. So if you folks want to talk about the certification tasks, if there's any questions about that, or you want to show what you've done already, or if you have questions about Laulima, questions about pretty much anything, we're just making it a sort of open help session. So if you want to ask anything or discuss anything about the boot camp, or how to make your discussions better, or how to engage students, or whatever it may be, this is the time. We're just gonna have a free session for that.
Could I ask a real basic question?
Sure.
So I was talking to Laura about like templates for like the Laulima pages, and
Yeah.
and she sent me one that's like a very stripped down version. It's pretty helpful. It's like ISAT V2 or something, but it doesn't have like all those cute little like little
Colorings.
logos and like headings and stuff. Like, how
Yeah.
do I get those from Laura, or do I just request that straight through Laulima, like Laulima support? Like
I'm
the
not
like
sh-
that kind of standard format, like you
Mhm.
know, with like let's get started, and has a little
Yeah.
guy and all that stuff
Right.
that Ivan had. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I got it. I remember when we first pivoted on to remote learning in like 2020, but I don't remember how I don't know who I contacted. It's like,
Yeah.
how do we get those?
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking I could ask Laura about it later.
Yeah, sure. No
But
problem. It's just a
yeah.
small thing. I'm sure there's
Okay.
just like, there must just be a,
It's a
I mean, because
template,
it's not
right? Yeah.
standard, right? It's not standard in Laulima. Like you have to get it imported somehow.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can ask her about that. Let me look. Actually, I'm trying to look through. I have a dev site that she gave me, so I'm trying to see if this is what I'm thinking of. Here, I'm gonna share my screen, and let's see. This is the template, I think. This is the template that I have for well, this is start here, but maybe if I go to the lesson page, the lesson template. Are you talking about I mean, what does it look like compared to this? Is it
Yeah, basically like that stuff, like with those headings and like, you know, the little handshaking introduction logo and
right?
the little like that whole template like is, I mean, it's not default in Laulima. It's like we have it
Okay.
from our hive mind, like our lesson pages
Yeah.
and stuff, and I know there's a way to get it. It's just it's a dumb question because I just don't remember how I got it.
It's fine. Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
who I contacted.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I know. Well, that was at the beginning of the pandemic, right? I'm gonna stop
Yeah,
here.
yeah. And I think and then after that, what I did was I just kept like copying from old sites, but
Yeah.
that got cumbersome. It would be nice just to be able to get like a fresh
A new one.
fresh
Yeah.
one now and then,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah.
Right.
That's all.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. I'll talk to Laura about that soon. Thinking about, let's see. Are you guys familiar with using a gradebook and statistics? Those two tools on Laulima? Okay. Jake, what about you?
In what capacity? Because I've been a TA since 2021.
Okay. Okay.
So I've been accessing, updating Gradebook.
Okay. That sounds good.
But not in terms of creating completely new. I'm not sure what else is going on in class.
What to do on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've been familiar with using it and certainly updating.
Okay. Okay.
records and so forth. Yes.
All right. I'm looking at the HiveMind site right now, trying to think if there's anything that I could share for the gradebook. Well, it's good to hear that you have experience with it, that you've used it before. I'm thinking.
I've used the Gradebook extensively, Nicole. I don't know if it's a violation of privacy. I mean, I could show the Gradebooks. I've used it every since I've taught here for 15 years. I've used the Gradebook on Laulima basically as my main tool. I don't know if I'm allowed to show the names in them, but it's pretty helpful. I mean,
it would be helpful. Yeah, I don't know if that would be a good idea for the people. If there was a way you could hide their names, but yeah, I know. It'd be helpful if you could just show how it looks. I'm not sure. I don't know if you're willing to, like, if you took a screenshot and then you blocked it out, you blocked out the names, but to show like what it looks like. But if you can't, it's fine.
I mean, I can show like a general thing. Like, do I have screen share ability?
Yes, I believe so. Do you see share screen?
Well, like this is, can you guys see that? This is how I have it, very basic one set up for this semester. So I won't go in, but you can see
Yeah.
like, so far we only have a couple things. But basically like this is for an oral focused course. So it's mostly like presentations and feedback, evaluations, and that sort of thing. So, I mean, I tend to configure it like just straightforwardly using percentages, and it does all the math for me. It's very convenient. Or alternately, sometimes in more complex classes, there's a category option you can use. Like if you want to itemize your gradebook entries rather than just having straight entries, you might want 10 homework entries, but you want them all together to be 20% of the grade.
Right.
All of that's very easy to do, like by utilizing like this gradebook setup, points, percentages, and categories. Like, I don't know if this is helpful for Jake or Jody, but these settings are quite easy to use. Like if you'd rather use points rather than percentages, you can choose that. You can choose how you display them, and categories is how, like, if you wanted to like group things together for total weight, and that works real well. I like the fact, I mean, of course you can choose, like, you can adjust the grading scale if you don't use the standard one. The importation of grades is easy if you use a spreadsheet. Exportation is easy if you want to do that. You publish them straight, they go straight into Banner, like at the end of the semester. So like at the, I really like that saves a lot of time, because I have a class, like I teach a lot of 130 students, and so I can just hit the publish thing at the end of the semester, and it rolls the grades like straight out of Laulima right into the record keep, the star. That's probably the best thing. That's probably the easiest thing for me. But yeah, I mean, so it's really easy to use. I just configure it at the beginning of every semester, and what's nice is then the students have access to it. Theirs looks a little different. I won't show it because I don't want to spoil anybody's privacy, but they see only their own grades, but they see them, whatever I've typed in, they get it, as long as I've checked the release box. Or if you don't want to show it, you can also not do that. But so far I only have two grades in here, so they did really well. So I have an A+, and it looks artificially good. Sorry, so don't. I've only had like 3 students present, and they were the ones that clearly did well because they volunteered to go first, right? So unfortunately, these numbers will decline. Will decline. But anyway, like, I don't know if that's helpful, but that's how I do it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
Since I've been so behind with this class, would you mind if I just share what I've done so far? And
yeah, absolutely.
I just had a question about the Hive page.
Yes, go ahead.
I'll just share my screen.
Okay.
So I'm just sort of, because I'm not a lecturer, I'm just a TA, I'm just sort of turning a presentation into sort of like a potential class that I might be interested in. So do we have to put in a video? Do we have to do that, or could we just do like, I know it's part of the requirements, could we just do like little something else?
Let me check. I don't remember let me go back into unit 3. I'm gonna see what the requirements are. Real quick.
And then let's see. Because I'm a bit behind, so just bear with me if I ask questions that have already been discussed.
It's fine.
But are we able, the way that I used to work as a TA in the semester is I'm sort of primarily occupied as well with what's in the resources folder, right? So what is it? The assignments, the resources, the quizzes, discussion forum. Are we able to create such a thing, or is that something that we're going to do in this? Are we expected to do that in the Hive Mind page?
Yeah,
or is that not something we're considering?
Sorry, I'm gonna check real quick. Yeah, I believe you're making a forum topic, because there's already there's like a forum banner, and you create a topic under that, and it can be you're making it detailed, so it covers a kind of a fake assignment that you're creating that you want pretend students to answer, right? And then you're also creating a quiz and an assignment. So yeah, you're practicing with different tools in Laulima, and then you're linking it in that lesson page.
Okay, got it. Okay. So I haven't done much, but I'll be populating it.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, you folks have until yes. you folks have until September 20th, and if you need more time than that, then you can continue with it. But it's just it's pretty it's not super strict because you guys it's just for your benefit, you know, if you want to use it later on in a course, and if you need help with Laulima, like if you hardly use it or you've never used it, it's more helpful. But even if you have already used Laulima many times, you might learn something here and there.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
So
And
go ahead.
yes, no, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jake. It's fine.
Okay, just because we've also, I see everybody has created this, like, just share it again, so I have to put time explaining it. I see that people have been creating these forum pages. Are we doing anything with this, or have we just created this to learn how to do it? Or
Let me look back. I think you're gonna link set it up. So, yeah, you're
there's no
these are all, yeah, these are a whole bunch of past topics, but you're taking the one that you created. So one of the certification tasks was last class, which was last sync session. It was on Wednesday. We had to create a forum in the topics tool. I mean
Okay.
a forum topic. Yes, because the forum is like it's a heading, right? And then you have a subheading. So it looks like you've created it, yeah, and it's under the forum. So what you're doing now is you're linking that to your lesson page. So if you have your lesson page created, I believe you're gonna go to, let me look, that section that says forum 2.1 edit topic here or something like that. There's your assignments.
Yeah,
you would edit that section and then link a new, you change it.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. It's good to see you've done that so far. Commenting on you were saying the introduction, right, for your page. You can make it text or video. What were you asking about that?
Yeah, just whether or not you had to do an introductory
Do a video. Yeah. For the assignment, you need an introduction, yes, but if you want to make it text and you don't want to record yourself or your screen or anything, that's fine. Yeah, so you would just put a little text block, you know, about who you are or what the course is about or whatever you want to introduce students to it.
Okay, excellent.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I think something I'll bring up real quick is I was supposed to include this to Unit 4. I didn't Unit 4 in Laulima, I didn't include any information about it, but I could talk briefly about it now, about the HiveMind site. When you go in there, there's a whole bunch of lesson pages that have names of different departments in the College of Social Sciences because that's where Laura is stationed. So even though some of you folks may be from different departments right outside of the College of Social Sciences, she typically works with CSS faculty. And we were talking a little bit a few months ago about CSS, which is cascading style sheets. It's a type of coding, I guess you could say. And it's a way of formatting web pages to look different than just text on a white screen. And so when you see all of those pages on the side, from alternate lesson template food to 12 women, gender, and sexuality studies, all of that is just different templates that you can use. And you just click on it and do the same steps that you would for the original template, where you create a new page for your lesson page for this certification task. If you want, you can choose any of those templates just to make it a little more interesting.
I think you just answered my question.
Really? Yeah, what were you gonna?
Well, no, I mean, in terms of where do we get the templates? I think
yes.
Yeah. I think I can just copy these, right? Using what is it, like more tools, add more pages. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I forgot. That basically answers. Thank you.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, you just click on one, and just like how it says for the typical lesson template, I believe it's more tools and add more pages, and then make new copy and save. Yeah, and then you'll have your new page down at the bottom. You can rename it too, so that it has your name. A few of us have already put our pages. But
right.
yeah.
But if you wanted to like if I was creating my own new class outside of HiveMind, can I copy these pages across sites? I guess that's what I'm
Yeah,
trying
the
to,
question.
I'm having a hard time getting to the question, right? How do I get it over to my own site as opposed to within our little club here?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure. I gotta ask Laura about that
I
because
think I think Laura does it. I think we just ask
yeah,
her and she'll, yeah.
maybe, yeah, she would make it because I know, yeah, that's what we're stuck on. Like it's kind of a proto beta sort of thing where I just created it like a month ago. So we really want to release it to the College of Social Sciences so that all the faculty can use it because it's personalized, right? But
Right.
I don't know how I think she has to handle that process.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to, if I have a moment later on, I might post a screencast video on this. If you folks check in on it, like in the next few weeks, the OTB basics Laulima site of how to make your own template, because it's pretty straightforward. You have like a coding file and you can edit it in like a plain text editor on your computer, or if you have, there's an app called Bracket, that's what I use, and it makes it really clean, and you kind of have to learn a little bit. Like I would probably include some links about what CSS is and like different vocabulary relating to it, but you kind of have to understand what it looks like because it looks a little weird compared to like it's not just straightforward where you type it in. And then once you do that, you kind of just play with it and just edit colors and fonts, and the picture you get a picture pretty much and you upload it to Laulima first and then in your resources, and then you link it in your file. And then putting the file on is very easy too. So, so far in HiveMind, it should be easy to play with that a little bit. And then we're gonna figure out later how to disseminate it to more people.
Sounds good. That'd be helpful. Thanks.
Yes. Okay. I'm looking. So do you folks have any questions about the certification tasks? Any of them from the beginning to now? Okay. Are you guys comfortable with Flip and Padlet? Sorry, Jake, go ahead.
Just quickly check that before asking questions.
Okay, or I can share it. The spreadsheet. Can't really see it that good. Okay, sorry, I'm not supposed to show that. I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to show everyone's participation. I'm gonna go back. Let me go back to for unit 1, we had Flip and Padlet. So originally, like before the course, there was a Flip introduction group. If you wanted to post a little video about yourself, that's separate. That's not part of the certification tasks. And then you create your own lesson placeholder page in the HiveMind site. So you're just taking any of the templates that are on there and duplicating it for your own and naming it under yourself. And then for Flip and Padlet, as long as you've signed in already. So for Flip, you sign in right with your hawaii.edu account. That's Flipgrid. And then for Padlet, you have to request an account from Laura. So it takes a little while, but once you get that, then you can create your own Padlets. So you just practice with that. You pretty much create a Flip group and topic, and you create a Padlet for your, like a proposed course. If you wanted to teach a specific topic, you would just create directions for that. So that was the first unit. The second unit had to do with screencasting. So if you've done a screencast video before where you record your screen, then you would just create one for this course. So you're practicing with, if you had a topic that you wanted to teach, then you would make a video with recording your screen. If you didn't want to show your face, you would just have your audio in the background, but you're speaking over it, explaining something, whether it be an assignment or even an introduction to the course, just a brief video that you could probably use in the future. And you would upload that to YouTube and practice with editing captions and uploading videos to YouTube in case in the future you wanted to have all of your videos on YouTube. Let's see. For YouTube, if you've never used YouTube via your hawaii.edu account before, you have to turn on consumer apps. So that's a separate site that you would go to. Jake, have you done that before? Have you used YouTube through your hawaii.edu account?
I have used it in the past, but I actually opted to just log out. But but I've done it before.
You've
Yes.
done it before? All right. Okay.
Yeah.
You should be fine then.
But not uploading things, just sort of logging in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think yeah, if you've logged in before, you should be fine. You just create the top right. You're publishing a video. Did you want to go through that? I could show you how to do that if you haven't done it or you want to talk about it a bit.
If people don't mind, yeah, sure, we can quickly walk through it.
Okay.
I've uploaded videos on YouTube before, but just not.
Okay. Okay, then it's
my
pretty
favorite.
much, yeah, it's pretty much the same process.
Yeah.
Yeah, just you're signing into your Hawaii.edu account, right? Where you create and you go through all the settings. And then have you edited captions before?
I have outside YouTube, not on YouTube.
Not on YouTube, okay. Because there's an option here. I'll go through it then. I'm gonna upload a video and just show you the subtitle setting area. Because that's important for accessibility. If you have students who are viewing a video in a busy area and they don't have the audio on, or even for yourself, like say you're recording a screencast video and you're in a busy place or your computer's not working really well and your audio is all choppy, alternative to that is having the transcript pretty much so that they can read it instead. So let me choose, I'm gonna just play around with this. Where am I? I still have the demo video. Well, once you go through this part, I'm gonna just skip all of that and click on this part because that's required for you to continue, right? And then this is the slightly harder way. If you want to come back later, what you would do is you would record your video and then you would post it to YouTube. And if you do this a few days to a week ahead of time, YouTube generates a transcript for you and then you just edit it. But in fact, I think I have that back there already. I can show you what it looks like when you have an auto-generated transcript. But if you want to add it, if you have like say a script that you read from, or you want to just type it out, you'll have separate text that has the correct transcript. So correct meaning like it sounds pretty much exactly like the way you talk, unless you want to take out filler words, or if you like stopped halfway in a sentence, you wouldn't put that. But pretty much it's saying it's writing down what you said, and you would have proper punctuation, grammar, spelling. So you would click on add here and you would click on the auto sync option, which is this one here. So all you do is paste in a big chunk of text, and then it aligns the text with when you're saying it in the video, so it's a little more accurate. If you wanted to do a file, you need a specific type of file extension. I think it's SRT. I can't remember. There's two different file extensions that like you would have a separate app where you would put your video in it and it would give you a transcript. And so that's how you would do that. But I'm gonna discard from there. Okay, I'm gonna close out of there. I think it's gonna upload it, yeah. Here, this one I already posted before the second synchronous session when I demoed this, but to edit the captions, you would click on the title of the video you uploaded and you would go to the subtitles. And there should be an option that says English Automatic, which is here. So to edit that, you click on duplicate and edit. And I'll continue because I already had a transcript there. So it looks like this, where it's all lowercase and there's misspellings. There might be words that you didn't even say, but it caught somehow in the audio. So it's always important to go back, yeah, and edit this so that it's accurate. And then you just publish it and it's done. It overrides that automatic one. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing.
I have a question. I encounter like a privacy issue when I try to log in with my UH account on YouTube.
Yeah.
Same happens to me on Google Maps. But,
would you mind sharing your screen? Okay.
Sure.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yes, that's the
okay.
I believe that's the issue with consumer apps. So here, let me.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Because
Yes.
I went through that. Yeah, so you got to sign up for consumer apps, Jake. It's like a separate link you got to request.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna put that in the chat. Let me just pull it up. Yeah, you in order to it's pretty much like you don't have permission with your Hawaii.edu account to use YouTube because it's a separate app.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that would be great to have that.
Laura's here. Yes.
All that.
Yeah, you definitely need that if you're using I mean you're gonna have to be able to access YouTube. Hi Laura.
Yeah.
Hi.
Getting the okay. I'm gonna get the tutorial. So ITS department has they just have a really short like 3-step web page that you can look at, and it has a link. So you're basically Laura, right now we're talking I'm working with Jake on Google Consumer Apps so that he can access YouTube. Okay. So if you go ahead and access that link, whether it's now or later, you're clicking on that link at the beginning. It says hawaii.edu/google/extra and leads you to that site. And you're logging in with your hawaii.edu account and you're agreeing to some terms and conditions. And that's pretty much it. Like if you want to maybe close out of your browser or wait a few minutes, it should take effect pretty quickly.
Okay, perfect. I'm doing it now.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's good. Okay. Hey Laura, so far Ivan did his presentation. It went really well. He went over some of the padlets that he uses, how it looks, and as well as his Laulima site. And so far we've just been going through anything. Paul, if you don't mind, do you want to ask Laura some of your questions about the template?
Oh, hi, Laura. So I was back on the topic of templates. I was just wondering, like, you know, in the HiveMind site, for example, there are a lot of these cool looking templates that are sort of like maybe they're customized maybe for different fields, different departments or whatever. I was just wondering, like, is it, well, Nicole was saying she maybe would give us a screencast video later to show us how to make them ourselves. That would be cool. But I was wondering, is there a way to, how do we access, is there like a stock of templates somewhere that like we can dip into and employ in our own website? Like, or do we always have to build our own or only get the 16-week one that the university, you know what I mean? Is there a way that we can get them imported into our?
Right. So yes, so the university system, like I think on one of their web pages that you can request that and they'll put it in there, and it's the 16 weeks. It's, you know, it's like the same empty template on each one, but it has that flow. One problem,
that we asked for through Laulima staff, like, is that for that
it's
basic
the Online Innovation Center, UH Online Innovation Center. However, that being said, I mean the little collection that we've got that Nicole made a bunch of samples from, that they all have the same like internal components, and those are pretty standard, and they have been you know, created from quality elements so that things are already built in. So research shows, you know, students do well with the learning objectives that must be visible for the week. Checklist is you know, keeps them organized and helps them manage their time. You know, there's different elements that were created based on, you know, research and things like that. So those are all there, but the look, like the style, like you're talking about, like the colors or that background, sort of background border, or the color theme that's running through all of it. So and the font size and the font style and all that, that comes from an overlaying skin, I'm gonna call it, from a special file called Cascading Style Sheets, and that is like HTML code. It kind of looks real scary, like some, you know, computer programming, but it's not as complicated as it might appear. And Nicole, I gave her the charge to like go learn whatever you can about it, how to do it, and come up with some different designs. So she did. So you can tweak those CSS files, and maybe Nicole, we could go to the HiveMind and show like what one, or download it, like show the, because it's like a plain text, because it's like computer programming HTML-y stuff. So, but maybe you could talk just real quick, because it's, I mean, it is kind of super cool and interesting. So all those templates you can change, like if well, also in, I'm just going all over the place, but when you go in there, pick one of your templates, but then go and switch it just for a second, so you can see that it's just like in a flash, you change the entire look of this page. So everything is sort of dictated by this page. Now we have all these templates, we created them, and I have some for College of Social Sciences that have like dark green color, because it's some of Manoa, well, College of Social Sciences colors or that color. So with CCs, like, so you have your own course and stuff, but then you might, this one you're doing for Center for Southeast Asian Studies. So for that catalog or collection of courses that you're working on that for, they created, so the GA that was there, Jeff Otto, is now has gone on, but he worked with another GA that was working under Miriam for the grant to create a custom one for this project. So all of those courses, like Kirsten's and Barbara Andaya, Hito Kimura, they all have like this saffrony yellow like background color in the back, and they've chosen the font styles. And so for that course that you're creating, you would want to contact Miriam's group and say, I need the template with that CSS on it.
Yeah, I understand that part. I was kind of maybe just thinking generally other classes.
Yes,
like
yes.
As semesters come and go, maybe I want to pull in a template and make it look, give it some pizzazz or whatever.
Yes. So we do. I mean, I do for faculty, and I know you're not in College of Social Sciences, but you can call on me. I'm
an interloper. Sorry.
Yes, no, but you can request things from me. That's fine. So I will get requests from faculty and provide them with template, and it may be just sort of plain, but so we've upgraded everything this summer. Every year I kind of tweak this template concept because I wanted to include a better workflow. And what I mean is, like, if you're sitting down to design 16 weeks of lessons, instead of having 16 templates where each time you start working on, okay, I'm working on week 4 and you've got all this template-y stuff, you have to delete a bunch of the template. So I always suggest just pick one lesson, work on it, get it how you like it, get the look, get all those things, and then start replicating that. So like when you replicate that one to the next lesson, like week 2 to week 3, you have less to replace. You'll have like, because I know I'm going to put my introductory video here, I just got to swap it out, but you don't have all the like template help instructions and things like that in there. I still share that because some people like to look at it to see, like, I try to create a lot of different looks. Not that anybody would want to take that and use all those different things, but it's just to show, oh, I didn't know you could do that, or I didn't know you could make that little symbol there, just as a, because you can always then copy bits and pieces after you've done it. So anyway, Nicole, did you want to show some stuff related to that?
Yeah, thanks. You added me to the ISAT V2 development site, which is cool. Like, but I also noticed that one doesn't have all the little handshaking icon.
Yeah,
and
right.
So yeah.
Yeah. So let's see.
Okay. I was thinking, Laura, is it as simple as this is my own dev site. I was gonna go to HiveMind. Is it as simple as they just like download the file and then they have it on their computer, right? And then they can just upload it in their own when they log into Laulima for their site?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I forgot how to do that. Is it in the? I think it's in the resources. I can't remember.
Or do you the actual CSS file?
Yeah, I was thinking
yeah. So let me back up. So if you request a template, the CSS we'll have all these samples, right? And we'll import it into your course. But what comes across is those CSS files. So all the CSS files that we have will be in there. They shouldn't get deleted. I mean, they should be in there. So if you look at the resources first, maybe, Nicole. So let's assume that somebody took. So this HiveMind is not anything you would want to import because there's too much stuff in it. But we have all the new template-y stuff, I'll call it, in another site, and it has all of those CSS files in it. So but you can download it, edit it, upload it, yourself if you get into it. Within resources, there should be it's like LB-CSS folder.
Yeah.
And those are in all the templates that I share. And usually there's just not a ton of them, but the system made a lot of CSS files, one for each campus. Yeah. So can you expand that?
Yeah. Quickly, Laura, you were saying, is this what we would use to import it into someone else's site? Is that what you're talking about? copy
No,
content?
no,
Okay.
no, that's if you want, if you have a resource, like something that was in a resource folder of another course, that
Yeah.
you just wanted that resource, that's what that's for, because you're in resources
Okay.
right now. But to do the whole import, it's under the whole site info area where you have all those
Oh, I
controls,
see.
like managing your tools.
Right.
Site info, to do that import, you must be an instructor in the template site and in the other one. So what happens is, I only ask to be added to the one you want to copy, and I do it myself. The reason for that is because what's happened before, if I put you as an instructor in the template, you might think this is your site. This has actually happened, and somebody started editing the whole template with their course. So after that, I don't enroll people in the template as instructor where they can go edit it. So that's just to keep control over that aspect. So, okay, so inside, yeah, so you see all these things here, like the ones that say Honolulu CC, you know, those were created by the system. They're just different color schemes. Like each campus has its own like mascot for athletics and color for their t-shirts, right? So they were kind of aligned to that. So there's just subtle little things, but they're all in here. And so the ones that Nicole created look like our departments, right? Economics, studies. And then there's one called default. So the default.css is the one that when you replicate a lesson, it's just going to take the default, and you have to go explicitly select it. So even though in the HiveMind, if you say, I want this economics one, and you make a copy of it, and that's going to be, you know, your lesson, it's going to look plain until you go do that. And so I have in there a screencast tutorial explaining how to copy a template into your own lesson. And the final step is to pull down because when you do that lesson copy, it doesn't take the CSS with it, which is very weird. It seems like a Laulima type bug to me, but because why wouldn't you? If you want to copy it, copy the style sheet with it, you know. So
yeah, that's exactly why I felt jammed up, because I copied from an earlier class, and it took the stuff I typed in, like, but it didn't bring the graphic. It didn't bring the graphics. I'm like, wait, I gotta reprogram all the graphics.
Yeah. So so pick one of these, Nicole, and show how you can change ethnic studies into the Lego one, for example. So so wait, see, this has got.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. I was I'm mistaken. I'm sorry. I didn't know that. So are you folks saying that if you go to like like any of these and you do the add more tools, add more pages, it doesn't have any of this fancy stuff?
Correct. It just looks like a plain template. I know. So that's disappointing, and I consider that to be not a good thing. One of the Laulima, another Laulima complaint, but yeah. So go ahead and show them the settings.
So if you're in a template and you say this is your own lesson page, right, and you want to change the CSS file, because it's in our resources, you go to settings and you click on this one here, custom CSS file, and it should be one of the options. See it? This is the folder of CSS files, so you can choose from any one of these. So you would choose the title of the one. If it's not uploaded to resources, you would click on this instead. Choose file if you had it on your computer already. Like that's what I had to do when I created the files originally, because they weren't on Laulima. So to put it in a lesson page, I had to click on choose file. But usually you just pull it from here. So say I changed it to communications and journalism and clicked on save, it should reload and have the new skin on it.
Groovy, yeah.
Yeah, then you gotta edit the text, but I'm gonna change it back before I forget. But yeah, that's how it's pretty straightforward. That's how you edit it, ethnic studies.
Great to know, thank you.
Yes.
And now can you show us like what that CSS file looks like?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna just go in the resources, right, and open one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the resources back up
And
here?
that those styles affect a lot of things, like the color, the background color of the checklist box. I mean, those little handshake, what do you call them? CK awesome fonts that have the little symbols. Those colors can be done. Even the size of the to-do list or checklist, it could be, there's different settings that you
Yeah.
can tweak.
Yes.
And that way, you don't have to do this every time. And the other thing, do you see here where it says learning objectives go here, paste without formatting? That's another biggie. Like you might have a document that has your learning objectives, and you go copy, and then you go come to Laulima and paste it. You always want to paste without formatting, whatever that's like Control Shift V or Command Shift V, because if you paste without formatting, it takes the formatting that was given to it by the cascading style sheet. So it keeps everything on the whole page looking the same, you know, the same font family and everything, instead of, it might pick up, like if you're using Word or even Google Docs and you just plain paste it behind the scenes. If you ever look, there's a button that you can see the HTML behind the scenes, and there's like a lot of like junky characters and different things that makes it look, it sort of misinterprets certain things, and then you start trying to make it a bigger font, and just it's just best to let it to the style sheet. That's the whole point of cascading style sheets. This is something that's been around, you know, since the really not long after the internet was invented or whatever. It's like web pages invented. It wasn't long after that, because there were so many horrible web pages, that they came up with the cascading style sheet. And every website, professional one that you see, is most likely using that. So
it's really good to know, because like I've experienced like trial and error trying to not doing what you just told us to do correctly, and struggling to match font and size and stuff. And I'm like, the choices, they're not in the template. The template font is not in the choices that you can adjust, right? And the size, it never comes out. So yeah, you have to do that copy without formatting. That's huge. That's huge.
yeah, so Nicole, I just saw you paste that purple thing, and then you must have pasted without formatting in it.
Yes.
Yeah,
I wanted to show you folks that. So yeah, if you have like, say that's how your syllabus looks or something, or your instructions, you have like colors and fonts and stuff like that. If you wanted to look like the rest of your stuff, that was just Command B. But I think you can click on where was that button? This one, right?
T sub X. Yeah.
Yeah, but you would go Command or Control Shift D, and it just looks like everything else. It takes off the formatting.
And it looks deceivingly extra plain here. Like you think, oh, well, that's disappointing. But when you save it and then it renders it, it will take whatever. Yeah, it could look better than that. So can you show the source, by the way, when you
oh yeah,
because that's kind of neat to see. If you do just do a regular paste with the purple and all that.
Okay.
And then click the source. So if you want to see what's behind the scenes, you can do that source button. So you see all these fonts is
16.
explicitly defined. This font variant is normal. You know, there's a lot of extra stuff. And then if you do it again with the paste and outside the, let me go back to the, and then paste with no formatting, and then look at the source. It's just nice and clean, right? So you don't need to put what font size. You don't need to say what font family, because it's taking it from the overarching thing. This cascading style sheet. Yeah, it's kind of neat, really. I mean, the concept is pretty neat.
It is, yeah. It gives it a little flair. Here, I'm gonna go in the resources and show you folks what the file looks like. I'll click on the food one because it has a little style to it. So all you do is you click on the file to I don't know if there's an option to, I don't think you download it. I think what you do is usually, like, so say you wanted to edit this, you like the format of the food CSS template, like you like how there's a picture in the background, how thick that is, and you like the size of the font and everything. You would just click on it, and then you get the plain text here pretty much, and you can copy this. It's so messy looking. You can copy this and you can paste it into a plain text editor or brackets, which is the tool that I use. It's a separate download, but let me try to focus on certain parts. So like there's a little bit of text here. Jamie Sicko is a worker at KCC who dealt with CSS. I took from a lot of her information. I learned about it, and pretty much her formatting of how she had templates for KCC. I looked at that and I copied it quite a bit. So I left her shout out in there, but yeah, fonts are a little difficult. Sometimes on certain browsers, like it'll default to a certain font, and it's not, if it's like really fancy fonts, then it might not show up. So it's not, if you folks are into programming, you might notice this, that like some of these fonts, if you've seen them before, they're not actually showing up. It was an error on my part that I didn't really put much thought into. Like if you look at the alternate ones are the ones I did first, and then we decided to do departments. So like these have a little fancier look to them. But for the others, I think if I remember right, the template has like it has a name for a font, but it didn't translate properly, where it's just a default font. So that's something to look into. Like on certain web browsers, it won't show up the font that you want to put. So it helps to, there's I think a family, right, Laura, of like certain fonts that are universal in a sense where they usually show up.
Right, right.
And then I was telling them earlier before you came in, Laura, that the image, if you want a background image for your site, then your lesson page, then you would usually download an image. I mean, it could even be an image that you have already, like an image you took yourself. But what I did was I took from free sites like Unsplash, and then I downloaded that image to my computer, and then I had to upload it to Laulima first in the resources folder. And it allows you to put that image. You have to get a link to it's kind of like you're connecting Laulima to the CSS file. And there's a whole bunch of details. So yeah, if you look up CSS files on Google, you can find quite a bit of resources. If I find any really useful resources, I'll upload them in the Laulima site for Unit 4. But just showing like what all this means, what this text means, pretty straightforward. Pixels is a little hard to determine sizing, but you can work through that. Coloring too. You have to learn what hex codes are and how different ways to in coding explain what a color is basically, right? Like this is either white or black, I can't remember, but usually like 6 Fs or 6 zeros with a hashtag before it is a white or black color. And you just adjust the letters and numbers to make different colors. And then that's where you get the sizing, spacing as well. So spacing is important in CSS files to say like if you want something all the way to the left, or you want it just in the middle, or just you adjust margins and stuff. And I think this I kind of had to play with. I think if I remember right, this whole section here, it has to do with like this top part, which is pretty neat. And when you go into the settings, it changes the color of the button. I didn't realize it till after, but it adjusts the color and the font. And so that's fun to play with. But this kind of thing, it's kind of time consuming. I enjoyed doing it. If you don't, I had no experience in coding beforehand, and I still don't now, even though I have a general idea of CSS, but it's still difficult for me to understand. So something I just did was I just played with it. I pretty much just got this file and edited the text over and over, changed colors and changed sizes, and just kept uploading it over and over and changing it and seeing, does this look weird? Because sometimes this is hard to do where you're looking at it as text. So like sometimes it helped me to draw it out. If you want to get that in depth, you can kind of sketch it out, like think to yourself, how do you want it to look? What colors do you want to use? And then type it out in text. Because usually like I started with text many times before doing these templates. And then when I put it in, like the colors didn't match. They looked really terrible, or the size was too weird, or so you just got to keep playing with it and re-uploading your file over and over. But that's pretty much it. Yeah, so it's a neat look. It's its own language. I'm gonna stop sharing.
Thank you for showing that.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
It's what do you call that? Extra credit topic.
Yeah, extra
it's
stuff,
not it's not for the amateur casual person. But anyway, it was fun to create. Have Nicole create those samples so people could use them if they want.
Yeah. We were going over certification tasks a little bit. I'm thinking if there's anything else we need to cover. We were talking about the lesson in the hive mind, like some of the criteria for that. But I think everything's pretty much covered. So do you folks have any other questions? Or you want to talk about anything else?
I think you covered it.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like you folks are busy at work already.
I think it's really, like you said, it's really about just practicing. And you
Yeah.
put forth a lot of good guidelines. So just, is it okay to ask you all questions like in the future outside of OTB?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I'll be with Laura for a while more, I'm guessing. I mean, Laura, if I can stay during spring, that would be nice. Like right now through fall semester, I'm working with her in a student job. So I'm definitely open to I'm working remotely, so anytime during hours that I'm pretty much working whenever. So if I receive messages from any of you folks that are enrolled in the boot camp, then I'll do my best to answer.
Thanking, I'm just thinking, like, you know, when you start doing stuff, you're like, oh wait, where did they say I'm supposed to copy that?
Yeah.
Which drop down menu? The little stuff, and then you could spend hours doing it on your own, and then it's like, oh, you guys would be like, yep, it's the settings button, right?
Yeah.
We've all been there and suffered through, so that helps. That helps when you suffer a little bit to remember how.
It actually helps you learn
Sometimes,
where it is.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
Laulima's like that. Laulima has a lot of nooks and crannies.
Oh,
like,
yes. A lot of like weird things that you wouldn't know unless you just happen to come to the boot camp and we tell you little tips and tricks. We need to collect all the quirks, Nicole, like all the quirky things that happen, like when you try to embed and you say save, and well, you see that save as alternative. What's that? Well, and it looks like it didn't work until you click save as alternative, then it magically your Padlet appears. So that's just one of many, you know, hidden mystery keys to unlock.
Yeah.
That was an aha moment when you told us about that. So I'm like, oh, that's what that is. Like, that's so cool. Like, it's so obvious. But I didn't know. Just
yeah, we all went through it the first time and we're like, what is that? Why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? Why isn't this should be working? Same thing with like when you embed the Padlet, for example. Padlet, when you go get a share link, it says, do you want the link or do you want to embed code? And so naturally you think, oh, Laulima's asking me to embed it. I should get the embed code. No, you just get the regular URL, and that trips a lot of people up too.
Yeah, like
including myself.
Like for YouTube, you want the embed code, right? It's like the opposite.
No, you still want the regular link.
Same.
Well, okay. It used to not work with it, YouTube's embed code, so I just stopped ever trying it. So it depends on where you put it. Like if you put it inside the text box and you use like the iframe embed, I think that works. But it's if you say I want to add a multimedia element, I don't know. I haven't done that in a while actually. So just be aware that Laulima's inconsistent in some places. So.
Yeah, it is. I was just
polite way of saying it. Very diplomatic. It's inconsistent in some places.
Yeah.
But thank you so much.
For sure. Yeah. Laura, I was just thinking it would be a good idea if we had you were saying quirks of Laulima, something about the overview page, because that's something too. I've already forgotten it, right? That's a very unique issue, but how you have to edit the overview page through like HTML coding and lots of settings instead of just like the rest, like templates you can just click and edit, and it's pretty straightforward.
So the template does have I think it used to anyway, have a screencast tutorial in there to help you through it, but it's we've got several tutorials on that, but it's quirky. You have to edit it through the resources instead of directly. So if you ever get stuck on wanting to do that, we can help.
Yeah, for sure.
So thank you all. I mean, it looks like we're getting kind of close. I don't know if you had any final remarks, Nicole, but remember, we have this goal of September 20th, but again, if you need to take more time, and then no problem, and we'll be happy to give you feedback. Don't get intimidated. Just, we're not looking at your content in any judgmental ways or anything like that. So it's just for you to practice. All right.
Yeah.
I think we can call it a wrap.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you, Nicole, and thank you, Jody.